morning from the Armour Steiner House in Irvington, New York. This is a National Historic Landmark and is the only known fully domed octagonal residence and the only house modeled after Donato Bramante's 1502 Tempietto in Rome. The house was built in 1859 to 1860, took 2 years to build, by financier Paul J. Armour. It's based on the architectural ideas of Orson Squire Fowler, the author of the Octagon House. The dome was added to the house in 1872 to 1876, took 4 years to build, by Joseph Steiner, a tea importer. So that's how they get the name, the Armour Steiner House. Armour was the one that initially built the house, and Steiner put the dome on top. Fowler believed the octagonal house enclosed more space, provided more interior sunlight, and that its rooms were easily accessible to each other. The house today remains a private residence. So he believed the octagonal design was superior to the regular house as it enclosed more space. So that is why he built it. Here's a little closer view of the house. Okay, we are now at Odell's Tavern, built in 1693. It is the oldest extant house in Irvington and is constructed of fieldstone. It was built by Jan Harmsay and was converted into a tavern in 1742. The Convention of the Representatives of the State of New York stopped here in April 1776 when Jonathan Odell was the proprietor, and when they were leaving New York after Washington was defeated at the Battle of Long Island. So this house has some Revolutionary War history. We're now at the Lord and Burnham building. It was built in the 1880s and was the home to Lord's Horticultural Works, a builder of boilers and conservatories. It was burnt down by a fire and replaced with the building that stands and used as a factory until 1988, when it became apartments and is now the Irvington Public Library. We are now on Irvington's Main Street. It is designated as a historic district by New York State and added to the National Register of Historical Places. Over 200 structures were built between 1950 and 1930 on this street. Irvington Town Hall, which is right in front of us here, was built by architect Albert J. Manning. We are now at the Washington Irving Memorial. Washington Irving lived from 1783 to 1859 and was an American short story writer. He's most well known for his stories Rip Van Winkle, 1819, and Legend of Sleepy Hollow, 1820. He wrote biographies of Oliver Goldsmith, Muhammad, and George Washington. Irvington was one of the first American writers to earn acclaim in Europe. He advocated for writing as a legitimate profession, argued the stronger laws to protect American writers from copyright infringement. This memorial was dedicated in 1927. A little bit closer here, it gives dates of his birth and death, and explains that he was an essayist, poet, historian, traveler, diplomatist, soldier, the first author of our republic. We have now arrived at our final stop today in the village of Irvington, scenic Hudson Park with New York City there in the background. I'm going to share some history about Irvington before I end the video. The land that encompasses the village of Irvington was originally two towns named Dearman and Abbotsford. In 1854, the name Irvington was adopted to honor the American author Washington Irving during the Revolutionary War. The land that would become Irvington was considered neutral ground, separating British and American occupied territories. Although there was much pillaging and plundering in the area by the British Army and Loyalists hunting down rebels. The village is in the town of Greensburg in Westchester County and has a population of around 6,500. So that's it for the video on the history of Irvington. I'm going to end it here. Have a good day.